Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel, everybody. You got Lanny. That's Lanny, baby. You got Bert over here. Who are we? The Dividend Diplomats.
The Dividend Investing's dividend champions of the world. The Bert Hurtlocker over here. Lanny. And if you're not down with that, we've got two words for you. Dividend investing. But if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, give Bert and I a thumbs up. And this is a special, different view of a watch list because it's not my watch list, it's
my watch list.
There we
That's
go.
right. Usually Lanny's the one that's pumping out the watch list. So you know what? I said it's time for me to get off the sidelines. I don't want to be on the announcer's booth anymore. I want to get in the ring and actually wrestle myself. So this week I put together a watch list and I'm getting ready to buy some dividend stocks because I want to put my cash to work buying income producing assets. Why? Because I want to reach financial freedom. So that's why we're doing this. We buy dividend stocks to grow our income, to cover our expenses, and reach financial freedom.
How do we come up with the three dividend stocks? Or how does Bert come up with the three dividend stocks? We try to keep it as easy as possible. And if you haven't already watched the video, it's the Dividend Diplomat Stock Screener. And we focus on three simple metrics. The first is the price to earnings ratio, or PE ratio. And that is taking the share price over the earnings per share or forward earnings per share. And this shows you if a stock is undervalued. Typically, we like to look at a company that is under 20 times forward earnings, which is typically where the S&P usually is. Except the S&P 500 is
much higher than 20 times forward earnings. It's actually closer to 35 to 40, 35 on a bad day.
Yeah.
So that's why we like to see our stocks undervalued compared to the market, because we don't like to buy expensive assets anyway. We want things that are undervalued.
We buy things on sale. And that second dividend metric is the dividend payout ratio. What is that? It is the dividend payments per year over the earnings per share over the year. And again, we look for that perfect dividend payout ratio. And Bert really coined it because it is the picture perfect. I mean, I always like the 40 to 60%, but Bert calls it now the perfect payout ratio.
Yeah, we like that 40 to 60% payout ratio range because it gives the perfect balance in a company of allowing it to reinvest in itself and also pay shareholders so that they can keep growing their earnings and growing your dividend accordingly.
That's right. And that third Dividend Diplomat stock metric is dividend growth. Again, you're in it for your income to grow. So a company, if they're growing their earnings and have a safe payout ratio, will grow that dividend payout year after year after year after year after year. This guy, the bobblehead. And so that's why the growth matters. And the growth rate matters because you want to see a rate that it's growing their dividend in consideration with the dividend yield, which is the bonus metric.
Oh, you went there with the bonus metric. And we always look at the dividend yield because we still want to earn a nice amount on our money. Typically, we like to see yields on individual stocks above the S&P 500, but also we definitely want to make sure that our cash is being put to work earning money, because guess what? Our savings rates are earning nothing right now. Our savings rates are terrible on our savings account. So
50 basis points.
Yeah, so with that in mind, I ran the numbers. I looked through some stocks that meet the metrics of our stock screener, as Lanny just said. That's exactly what I did, actually. And with that, I spit out three dividend stocks that I'm going to watch this upcoming week.
So Bert's three dividend stocks for the week. Here we are, mid-February, dividend stocks. So Bert, kick us off with that first dividend stock that met your metrics.
Yeah, it's actually one of the stocks that we purchased last week and we covered in one of our purchase videos recently. The first company is Cardinal Health, ticker symbol CAH. I talked about Cardinal Health earlier in the week when I discussed our purchase of 4 shares previously. I like Cardinal Health not just because they're headquartered in Ohio, but I actually like the company, the business they operate in. They're the major middlemen in the healthcare sector. Yeah, I like it. I love red, clearly, with Cardinal Health, but they help distribute medical equipment to all of the major hospital systems and companies. That's going to be a huge role going forward, even though some people are speculating the middleman's going to get squeezed in this equation. In addition to the metrics, they just released earnings. Revenue grew 5%. They had strong performance in that medical sector due to PP&E sales, which isn't going away anytime soon. And the company increased their earnings outlook So on top of it, they grew revenue, they had strong segment sales, and they're forecasting stronger EPS going forward.
So that first Dividend Diplomat stock metric for Cardinal Health, again, they're trading at $51 now and 86 cents, and the forward earnings that analysts are projecting right now is $5.97. So you do the math, you already know it's below 10 times earnings. And in fact, it's only 8.69 times earnings.
Yeah, it's an insanely low PE ratio. So that's why company has jumped right back up onto my watch list here. And their dividend payout ratio, they paid $1.94 per share, which gives them a dividend payout ratio of 33%. Which is below our perfect payout ratio. So there's still room to continue growing that dividend for the foreseeable future.
So we just went over the price to earnings. We got the dividend payout ratio. Now it's going to be the best part about Cardinal Health right now. And really it's the dividend growth and the growth history. Now, Bert, what is Cardinal Health?
They're a dividend aristocrat. They've increased that dividend for 33 consecutive years. A dividend aristocrat's a company that's increased its dividend for 25 consecutive years. It's the exclusive club, the who's who of the dividend investing
the
world.
Colossus of Cloud.
the great Bambino. But they have a 5-year dividend growth rate of 5.22% on top of that. So a nice, not the highest, but it's a very solid dividend growth rate for the company. And then lastly, with that bonus metric, that dividend yield, currently their yield is 3.7%. So they would summarize with Cardinal Health, PE ratio below 10, payout ratio of 33%, strong dividend growth history, and a dividend yield of 3.7%. So yeah, to me, it's a no-brainer for why I'm going to continue watching this company going forward.
On to that dividend stock, number 2 on Bert's dividend stock watch list, or his stocks to buy, is a stock that we both own. We featured it on an expected increase. We featured it on a dividend stock showdown the other week. And they just increased their dividend during the week of February 8th by 20%. And this company is also another dividend aristocrat stock. T. Rowe Price, ticker symbol TROW, currently trading at $163 per share at the share price. Now, Bert, what are these analysts projecting for earnings this year?
$12.01 for earnings. So you take that share price divided by the earnings, that gives you a PE ratio of 13.6, which is, again, way below the S&P 500. And as we talked about in our video where we compare them to BlackRock, they are much lower than a competitor such as BlackRock that has a PE ratio closer to 20x. So you take their annual dividend that they just increased 20% that Lanny mentioned of $4.32 per share, divide that by the 1201, that gives you a payout ratio of 36%. So again, another company, plenty of room to keep growing that dividend. Not quite at our perfect payout ratio, but I'm never going to complain about a company with that strong of a payout ratio. Let's move into that third metric, that dividend history. Company is a dividend aristocrat, increased for 35 years. Just announced that 20% dividend increase with an average 5-year dividend growth rate of also right around 20% too. So fantastic metrics around for T. Rowe.
T. Rowe as the bonus metric, they provide a dividend yield of around 2.65%. So almost a full percent above what the S&P 500 currently yields at, which is between that 165, 175 right now at the moment. And on top of that, if you're at Ally or Capital One getting 0.50% on your savings account, this is a way to 5x that and moving some of that cash, maybe buying some T. Rowe Price stock right there, you'll get 2.65% on the dividend yield. Yeah. And in summary, T. Rowe, you've got PE ratio of below 14 at 13.59 times earnings, a dividend payout ratio of between 35 and 36%, a 5-year dividend growth rate on average of 20% with 35 plus years of consecutively increasing that dividend. So it's no wonder why this is on Bert's dividend stock watch list.
Moving into number 3 here, the third and final company here on my dividend stock watch list, Pfizer, ticker symbol PFE. We talk about Pfizer all the time on this channel.
Bert loves it, the blue pill.
I do. Yeah, COVID vaccines, blue pills, they're playing a major role in helping get us out of this pandemic, but the company continues to just grow. They're
growing with the blue pill.
Yeah, there it is. Products match what they're doing, so it couldn't be better for the company. So let's lay out some of the metrics here for Pfizer. Currently, at the time we're filming this, their price is $34.72. Average analyst earnings estimates are $3.38. PE ratio, 10.
That's
so
it.
Another company with a low PE ratio,
That's
well
it.
below the market. So that's a nice big check right there. Annual dividends $1.56 per share, which will get adjusted here shortly when the company adjusts for that spinoff. But right now, you take that over the earnings, payout ratio in that perfect payout ratio range of 46% there.
Now again, Pfizer just also had a spin-off of some of their companies. Upjohn and Mylan came together. So there's a new company that you shareholders may own. And the dividend policy will start coming out really during the second quarter of 2021. So just definitely stay tuned to that, because the dividend will change here with Pfizer. So it will be lower than what you currently are receiving now. So you have to keep that in mind. But obviously Pfizer has a 5-year dividend growth rate of over 6%. They've been increasing their dividend ever since the financial crisis back in 2009. So they've been going for 11 straight years of increasing the dividend. And they'll still count, if they increase their dividend this year, they'll still count it as a consecutive increase, just because you have to take in that spin-off as a factor in there. And then since they meet that price to earnings ratio, they're in that perfect sweet spot, that meet part of the bat on the perfect payout ratio. They have that growth rate average and the growth rate streak. The dividend yield comes into play with Pfizer. And honestly, out of all three of these companies, it's surprising that Pfizer yields the highest currently at 4.49%.
Yeah, it's insane. That's not why I'm investing in Pfizer. I love the fundamentals. I love the other metrics, but
He loves COVID.
Yeah, I do not. But I will never complain about a company that's yielding 4.5%, offering you 6% dividend growth as well. What's not to like?
Pfizer beats COVID, Burt beat COVID. Match made in heaven.
Yeah, that was not fun, but
he beat it.
Yeah.
He just said, gives it the rock bottom, gave it the Burt's elbow, and called it a day there. Yeah. And he's buying Pfizer stock to complement it.
Yeah, that's fantastic point, Lanny. So to summarize, the three companies on my watch list: Cardinal Health, T. Rowe Price, Pfizer. All three crush our stock screener. All three strong dividend growth stocks. Two are dividend aristocrats, one of them with a double-digit increase. So we've been buying almost all of them recently, and we look forward to potentially adding them going forward to our portfolio as well.
Again, what dividend stocks are you watching? What do you see where it shows the strong growth rate history, growth rate average, payout ratio, and price to earnings? Share it below here in the comments to see if we're missing something. Again, if it meets the Dividend Diplomat stock metrics, let us know what you see that meets that criteria, because we would love to know.
And if you don't already, please choke slam that subscribe button below. Give us a thumbs up here, because we appreciate all the love and support we've gotten with our YouTube channel since we started it early in 2020.
No, we seriously love you guys. This dividend investing community is awesome. We try to respond to every email and every comment that we receive here on the channel. This is Burt and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats.
Over and out.